Paul Kelly for Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat. I'm joined by the new English champion, Sam Gilley. Sam, how are you? How does that sound?
All good, mate. Sounds amazing. You all right?
Yeah, all good. Thanks, all good. So yeah, how does it feel now that you can call yourself the English champion?
Oh, mate, I ain't stopped smiling. Yeah, it ain't sunk in either, really. I mean, yeah, it's just all a little bit of a blur. I mean, I only got the call 3 weeks ago to then dive straight. I mean, I was fighting Daniel Larty in a 6-rounder, sitting there thinking, oh, like, I want to get back in the mix a little bit. Then all of a sudden get a phone call 3 weeks later, you're English champion. You're like just it just turns on his head, doesn't it? But yeah, it's mad. Yeah, but I ain't stopped smiling, so buzzing.
Happy days. It ended up being a 4th round knockout win. Did the fight go as you expected it to?
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, it did. We've watched him obviously, and he's good. He's good and strong, but he fades. He puts everything into every shot and fades from about round 3. So we said that we'd stick and move, let him miss, and take the sting out of him a little bit, and then start pushing him from 4. So one of my mates just turned up. Shush. Yeah. So from the 4th round, I started setting my feet. I pushed him off me, and it was when we was about to start pushing him back a little bit, but the shot landed in the 4th, and that was it. So yeah, happy days. I don't know why that was the plan, and Rod bet on the 3rd round. We put £100 on the 3rd round. I don't know why he done that, because we said we'd start the shots in from the 4th, and then he goes and bets on the 3rd. So I don't know why he done that, but so yeah, he lost £100 as well.
The shot that you ended up finishing with was a beautiful left hook to the body. Is that something you'd been working on then? Obviously, you said there that you knew he was going to fade. Did you see the body could have been a weakness then?
So obviously, that's my favourite shot. There's obviously I grew up watching Ricky Hatton, and when I was a kid, I just used to stand on the bag just practicing left hooks to the body. And if you ask any of the boys in the gym that I spar with, I've caught most of them with quite good body shots on that side. So it's just a natural shot for me to throw. But we did realise that he arches his arms over and the elbows were quite high. So we was actually meant to touch him high on, like, just after, like, we come out of a clinch, touch him higher than throw. But I didn't even touch the hands. I literally just as we come out of a clinch, I threw behind the elbow, but I felt his body was very soft, so he was obviously breathing in when I landed. So there's no way he's catching your air after that.
It was almost like a delayed reaction, wasn't it? Did you know as soon as the shot landed that he was going to go down? Because it was a few second delay, wasn't it?
No, I knew it would hurt. I knew it was hurt, but his face didn't change. And then he walked towards me, and I thought, all right, he's won that quite well. And then he went down. So normally it's instant with them sort of shots. Normally it's bang and they go. But yeah, he done well to try and wear it for as long as he did. But and I still thought we'd get up, to be fair, because like I said, it wasn't the hardest thrown shot, but I think where it was quite short, and it was just after we come out of the clinch, you didn't see it. So but once I got to the neutral corner and I see him sort of writhing around, and he went from his knees to laying flat, I knew there was no coming back then.
That win, I believe, put you in the top 10 in Britain on BoxRec. So
yeah,
sure you're playing well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Rod sent me that straight away. I mean, I think the highest I've ever been is 12. So yeah, to finally break into the top 10 in the country and say that I'm English champion, that's yourself stuff, really. So over the moon.
So after what would have been a frustrating start to the year, obviously losing that close decision that we talked about before, are you pleased overall now with how 2021's been for you? Because obviously you bounced back with that win, and then only a few weeks ago, it was less than a month between fights, and then obviously now winning the English title. So would you sum up 2021, despite losing for the first time, would you still say that it was a good year?
Well, I now see that as a positive. The starts of the year, obviously, you always say, like, it's not losses, it's lessons, as long as you use it in the right way. And for me, that was the sort of slap around the head to go, right, you need to move up now. You got, like, your body's maturing, you're getting stronger, you're getting bigger. Time to move up to a more natural weight. And yeah, I mean, the little test out against Larty, was good. Good to get the rounds out against him. I'm glad I didn't blow him away. And then go into this, and I mean, into the fourth round. But by the fourth round, when I fought Danny Ball, I was literally, I don't really remember a lot because I was just that like, oh my God, I'm so fucked. Yeah. But I got back to the corner, Rod went, how are you? And I was absolutely fine. Like, I could have gone on all night. I felt amazing in there. So, and it's the first time really that I felt like that in a fight, where I felt the same as I do when I spar. So obviously losing it ain't great, but if you then turn it into a positive by learning to move up weight, feel amazing when you fight and win 2 fights and win English title. That's a banging year, isn't it, for me? So yeah, wicked. So
you mentioned there obviously about you were feeling, even compared to when you were whacked down at 147, just feeling far more fresh. So do you feel that at 154, I know you've only had 2 fights, but do you feel like, you know, you're showing your skills better now in your performances? Do you feel like your performances have gone up a level?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I can actually, it's not me just going to the well and digging out a performance. I can actually, I've got like the beans in me to go and show what I'm good at and what I normally do in the gym. So, because that's what's always been a frustrating thing for me. It's always been, obviously you're learning along the way as well. And the more, I mean, what's that? It was like my 14th fight now. That was when it was my 14th. So yeah, like that's that. Like, I'm not like, I don't know where that's gone, because like it feels like 2 fights ago I've only had 4 fights, but like you learn each time to relax under situations that are normally quite panicky and stuff like that. So the fact that I can relax and feel at ease when I'm in there, like from experience, as well as now have the energy to go with that, it's gonna bring the best out of me, and I'm gonna be able to show what I show in the gym. So yeah, it's good.
So do you feel like then that the extra weight that you are punching a wee bit harder as well? Obviously you got the stoppage the other night, but even in the gym and in sparring and stuff, do you feel like you're able to transfer your skills and your power that you aren't, now that you're not having to cut that extra 7 pounds? Do you feel like it's a wee bit easier?
Do you know what? It's, I think I can hold my technique a lot better, because it's not like a tired fatigue motion going into the shot, and I'm not like losing my feet after. It's yeah, because I've got the energy, I can hold my shape, hold my form a lot better, and that way you're going to generate more power into shots. And but like it's if you look at this shot, that wasn't the hardest punch I've thrown in my career, but it was short. It was short, and the technique was correct, and that's because I had the energy and I didn't feel like I was like so monged out or I was so tired that I couldn't think about that sort of stuff. Whereas this time I felt fresh, and I looked, just see a little gap and just put it behind there, quick, short, sharp, rather than like loading all my energy into one, because all my energy's already gone. So it will make me punch more correct, and I think that will lead to more stoppages.
So going back to the fight itself, was there anything that surprised you about Chryssakis?
He's a strong little bastard. For the first, we said 4 rounds it'd be strong, but he I've done an absolute schoolboy. Rod gave me an absolute bollocking, but I dipped to my right in the first round, and I dipped onto an uppercut, and it was the one thing that he told me not to do. He would, do not dip to your right hand side, because he's gonna look. That's all he throws, the uppercut left hook when you dive in at him. So for 3 weeks, I've been going on about not doing it. I think it was a minute and a half into round 1, straight onto an uppercut. And I think it broke his hand, actually, I've heard, but because it did hit me quite hard. But like, he hit me with the uppercut, and then I've gone to push off to my left, and I've tripped over his leg, so it looked horrendous. But yeah, that was the only thing that really. After that, he threw everything into every shot, like I said, and we expected that. And then it was a little bit slow inside. So no, nothing really surprised me a lot, apart from he was just tough. Do you know what I mean?
So what was the atmosphere like in the venue then? It was the Holt Suite at Villa Park, wasn't it?
Oh mate, do you know what? It was absolutely banging. I mean, I only had the tickets in my hand a week, and I think it was 80 tickets. So for 80 people to just on a click of the fingers come up to Birmingham, book hotels, spend money on a ticket for a fight and night out. The best thing was the tables that they'd given my friends and family, like, you could touch the ring. So the atmosphere was nuts. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate every single one of them that come up 2.5 hours there and back to come and watch me. But yeah, we had a right good laugh after, and everyone was over the moon. So it was well worth it.
So last year you won the Southern Area title, obviously in a different weight, and this year you've won the English title. So what does 2022 have in store for you, ideally?
Oh, world title? No, joking. No. Listen, I think I'm contracted to fight Drew Brown for the English at the start of next year. So I've always said I want to copy Dan Aziz here. I've always said I want to go the traditional route, and because I think that puts you in good stead, and especially where I didn't go to GB and stuff like that as an amateur. I think you're doing, should I say, like your apprenticeship along the way, and you're going through the grades, if you will, sort of thing. So, and I think you gain more experience along the way. You see more styles, and it puts you in better stead for when you get into them bigger fights later on. So I want to defend that against Drew Brown, and I also want to start getting onto some TV shows now. And I want someone to get behind me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I've done everything the hard way. I've come up from small hall shows on Goodwin. I've won the Southern Area at welterweight. I've then boxed for a WBC, only lost by a round, and then I've gone and won the English. I mean, and I've done this all like with my eyes shut, pretty much. So yeah, I want someone to come and pick me up now, put me on a big platform, and give me some proper exposure on some TV and stuff like that, and start earning some proper money. Because I mean, that's what we're in this for, and I think it's about time now that I get onto them platforms.
You mentioned there that you're probably going to defend against Drew Brown. I saw that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Before you said that, I was going to ask, was there any names that you wanted to see? Because I saw on Twitter, Jez Smith was trying to throw his name into the conversation, wasn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? I think I was still in the ring when he tweeted that. I mean, like, I thought, gee, like, I've never given him nothing but respect, Jez. And listen, he's taking fights at the drop of a hat. So I've seen a couple of things like, oh, I'll fight it, but that's the one thing that being a champion is going to get you. You're going to get people trying to throw their name into the hat and stuff like that. But Drew Brown is our next opponent, so we've got to honor that part of the contract. And then who knows what could happen? Do you know what I mean? But I want bigger fights than Jez Smith after I defend this title. But because I mean, if you've got an English title, then it certainly puts you in line for British titles or other bigger titles as well. I know there's a lad from England fighting for the EBU European as well. So listen, let's hope he wins that, and we can have that in England as well. So, and who knows what can happen then.
So do you feel like then, obviously, you're going to defend the English maybe once, twice? Well, maybe, I suppose it depends on the fights you get offered. So do you feel like then you're ready? You would be ready now for the British title fight, even though you do want to defend the English? Do you feel like you're ready now for that step up?
Listen, I'm always going to say yes and no. Like a British title, when I started boxing, when I was a kid on my little BlackBerry, I had a picture of the Lonsdale belt across from screensaver, because that's always been the dream for me. That's always been the belt. But one step at a time. Like when I first turned pro, if you said to me you'd be English champion, I'd have bit your hand off. So it's time for me to enjoy this for December, defend it, and then we'll see what the situation is after that. I'd like to get a couple of fights in with this title, because like again, it's more learning, do you know what I mean? And again, more exposure. I believe English title is a good level to start putting on some TV shows, get me some good fights, win them, and then we see what happens from there. But Rod, Lee, MTK, they're all going to they'll have a plan for me and point me in the right direction. So now
is it a matter of kind of lying low over Christmas and New Year, and then do you have any idea when that fight's going to be? Is it going to be January, February?
No, I think it's February. So I've got a week. I've got a week off, and then back on the. But I mean, I put a tweet out there it's got to be a year ago now, but it was during lockdown, saying like, oh, there's no fights going on, blah blah blah. Like, absolutely fuming. Then I've had 2 in a month, and like I've got the next one lined up for a couple of months away, so I can't sit here and moan about it. But yeah, so it's all good. And I mean, we're working, earning money, so but I want to get these wins out of the way and then get onto a big TV platform. So we'll see what happens.
So finally, completely off boxing, how's the golf going?
I'm playing tomorrow, so I'll let you know. Probably absolutely horrendous, but yeah, the weather doesn't look too cold here tomorrow. So yeah, me and my pal Joe, we're gonna put over to Stapleford Abbotts Golf Club, and we're going to top some balls and probably lose our temper a few times.
Look at you, more than I'll be playing. I think that'll be me until March or April. Now it's too cold now.
Yeah, no, Rod's exactly the same. He's a fair weather golfer, but I'm so bad. I've got to play 12 months of the year to even try and shoot my handicap. So I've got to get the practice in, so to try and catch him for next summer. But yeah, so I'll for the whole of December I'll be practicing that really.
Listen, Sam, thanks very much for your time, and congratulations again, the new English Super Welterweight champion.
Cheers, mate. Top man. Thank you.
All the best.